And welcome back to FTRL. It's Tuesday night and we have a title decider to look forward to. Coming to you from Interlagos in Brazil, and joining me on comms tonight to oversee all the action are FTRL Pagani and FTRL Blue Flag. Good evening, gents.
Good afternoon.
Hello. So, 3 divisions, but only 1 title left to fight out for, and that is tonight's action. So, it's Joe Burns versus LR Deneen. Where are we placing our money?
Well, I know where Joe's placing his money, and it's not on himself.
Surely that's some sort of, like, betting violation.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Race fixing. I mean, given recent form, you would probably think that the smart money would be on Deneen. However, this is FTRL, and as we saw last night around Brazil, anything could happen.
As you say, going off form, you'd probably go Deneen, but just to pile a bit of pressure on Joe Burns, I'm going for Joe Burns for the title.
I'll say LR Deneen has been saying in the chat today he's done no or very little practice, he's got no setup and hasn't worked out the strategy yet, so that could throw something into the mix, but we shall see. So, only 10 races down in F2, obviously, because we had the cancellation in France after the issues with PSN network. But it all comes down to a 3 points or 4 point gap. It's a 4 point gap, isn't it? No, it's 3 point, isn't it? Sorry, yeah, it's 3 points between them. So
yeah, 128 close, 125. Oh, Pagani squealing. What's going on?
Cat and Spike were having an altercation on track, going side by side through 2 corners for some reason, and Donzo was on a fast lap coming up behind them, and both cars were in the way. So Donzo's first fast lap has been ruined.
And Spike's still going side by side. That
T Smith. T Smith's in the grass. He was on a fast lap as well.
It is some words in the chat soon,
but you do have to keep your eyes open at all times. A very short lap. Traffic will play an issue tonight.
Well, it might be the final race of the season, but we do have a debutant this evening. We've got Mike Dude making his debut in the Renault.
Go Team Renault.
Hashtag Team Banana.
Hashtag don't jinx it, Pagani. You've jinxed us all season. Thank you.
Pagani is just the FTRL jinx.
For Team Banana, yes. Yes, we've had between the 3 divisions, we've had a lot of bad luck.
I have a soft spot for Team Banana. I was in Team Banana for all of F1 2016. I was in 3 leagues and I was in a banana in all. The entirety of the game. Then come season 7, I'm back in a banana with Zai. So yeah. I seem to be stuck to the banana, which isn't always a good thing, but we'll leave that out of it. Got a first few times on the board with Nexus Cat 1086.
So Deneen straight away pops himself into pole. So the 2 title protagonists currently sitting 1st and 3rd, as Deneen then has a big moment into turn 1 on his slowing down lap.
So we spoke about the title being decided tonight. There's something else that needs deciding. That's the final promotion place. So it is.
There are quite a few guys in the mix, aren't there?
Well, it's Nexus Iceman versus T Smith for that. It's a 17 point gap, 75 place 92.
Mike Dude has unfortunately binned it on his at the end of his first lap. I haven't quite seen where he is. Sector 2.
I think he's right in the middle of the lap, sort of the duck bill.
Just watching T Smith come around.
I can't get blamed for that one, but that wasn't me this time.
Not seeing his car anywhere. It appears he's been cleared away, but not ideal for the debutant. Oh, T. Smith just getting out of the way there of Goy Carp, I think, coming around, who's now gone off at the bottom of the hill.
Well, Goy Carp did suggest he was going to actually qualify the car today, which is good to see. I think we all want Goy to do well, but grassy moment. Awesome, back into pit lane. But very slowly.
No, doesn't want to pick up a penalty in qualifying. That might affect his race later on. Just on board with Victor as he comes around the infield section. It's the second time we've seen him this season. Unfortunately, his first race ended in that spectacular accident at the Hungaroring.
It did indeed.
As he drives up the hill into the final sector. DRS opens up. And he goes into P2. Well, that's a very quick lap there from him. 1:08.6 pops him ahead of Nexus Cats. Just a tenth behind Deneen.
Well, it is his home track, so...
I say, is that home advantage coming into play?
I mean, when can we get a track in Newcastle? Then I can claim that.
Do you know of any good tracks in Newcastle? Does Croft count? That's nearby, isn't it? Darlington.
I mean, I'd like to see F1 guys try and go around Croft, but we do have Mike Dude on his first race, but for the time being we have Michael C in here who's completing his last FTRL F1 race for the time being. He's having a break, so it'll be our last chance to see how he does tonight.
And he wants to drive it like he stole it. Being from Liverpool, he's probably quite familiar with that feeling.
I was going to say, before he leaves, he's going to steal all the wheels off every single car down pit lane.
Yeah, they're all going to come in for a pit stop and not have any tyres.
Yeah, recently passed his actual driving test, so Liverpool beware.
Joe Burns coming around to start his second flying run. Currently sits P5, so he's in the mix, but his title rival currently sits on pole. And that will further push that gap out to 5 points.
That was something that Joe was fearing before the start of this race, was Deneen getting pole.
Since we've done all the changes to the divisions with the driver swaps, I mean, Deneen really has come into his own. He had pace before, but so he's really become the cream of the crop since the changes mid-season.
Yeah, one man to keep an eye on for pole position, I believe, is T. Smith. He's taken the last two. And he could complete a hat-trick tonight and not only do Joe a favour by taking 2 points off Deneen, but he would claw himself 2 points closer to Iceman in that fight for the last promotion spot.
Indeed. Currently though, he's running the alternate strategy. Only 2 people on the mediums. He's qualified 1 lap in. Currently sees him set in P7. City Posh also on an outlap, currently on the medium tyre.
I mean, another man to watch out for pole position is Goy. I mean, he doesn't necessarily set qualifying times all the time, but when he does, he usually puts in a fast lap.
And speaking of fast laps, Deneen has just lowered his time to a 1:08.2, putting him 4 tenths clear.
He's got another 3 tenths for himself that lap.
On board with Goy Carp as he heads up to the start-finish line. And he goes P7.
P7.
It's a solid effort there from Goy, who then goes straight on the first corner, get out of the way of Nexus Iceman. There's Cats.
Nexus Iceman is at the last corner.
He is indeed, just gone on board with him as he powers up the hill, chasing the Alfa Romeo. Of course, our winner in dominant fashion in Monaco. Where does he pop himself up to? He goes P5. So T.
P3 and P5.
Indeed, T. Smith is responding. He's out on the soft tyre, so he's abandoning the alternate strategy. I think track position around here is going to be key. It's a very narrow circuit, very twisty. There's not too many overtaking places in the traditional sense, but this is FTRL and we make up our own a lot of the time, as we saw in Monaco.
Yeah, Monaco is still a sore subject.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. So in the chat we've got a lot of support for Joe. We've got Hammer Time in there, cheering him on.
We also have a Matt Cause in the chat. It was his last race for a while in FTRL last night. He's going on to actual life now, so yeah.
Whatever that means. What is actual life? But yes, to say he had a fantastic battle with Andy. He was watching the stream back last night. His battle with a race-long battle, or seemingly with Andy, and finished with a P6. It was a decent send-off for Matt Cause, but hopefully he'll be back in the not too distant future. More yellow flag sector 2. That might just be somebody getting out of the way.
Well, Cat has put himself up in a P6. 108.9.
Now with T Smith as he comes around the middle of the lap. All the power around the second infield loop, down to the bottom of the hill. And now that left-hander, and then it's climb, 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 up the hill, through the sweeping left. DRS will drop open. Now where does he put himself? P4.
Crucially in front of Iceman so far.
Not trawling Deneen's current pole time, so perhaps not looking at a Patrick of poles at the moment, but he does have enough time to go for another run if he so wishes.
Now, I am going to be interested to see where FTRL's most unlucky man does qualify tonight in City Point Blue.
He's currently on his outlap.
He is indeed.
So let's go on board with him.
I swear he must walk under ladders for a living. If he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck. It is.
So around the first corner, took a fair amount of curb there into turn 1, hopefully didn't invalidate. Very easily done. That's those of us who have done any practice will testament.
Still an overtake ERS, so it looks like the lap's still on. It is always a difficult corner, that triple apex right-hander.
Yeah, very much so. So you've got to kind of get the car to hook into the inside, but it wants to run out to the edge of the circuit, and then you don't want to be too wide once the corner tightens at the top, because you go over that curb and you are either invalidating your lap or going for a bit of a spin. But neat and tidy so far. Toro Rosso powering up the hill. Keeps to the inside, he goes P5. Solid job there from City Posh Blue. And that's everybody apart from Mike Dude, who unfortunately has retired, with the laptop on the board. So Deneen, will we see him out again? He might just stay in the pits for the remainder of the session.
On the podium is out on the medium tyre.
Yeah, he's qualified on the medium tyre once already, so he's definitely going for the alternate strategy.
He's done his best lap on the hard tyre.
Yeah.
And it's just started raining.
Ooh.
Wow. That would, I mean, if you're on a lap now, you might be fine, but I'd say anybody starting a lap now is going to be in trouble. I say that as Joe Burton starts his fast lap. Does have a pole position around Brazil, does Joe Burton, in the performance division? However, he's invalidated at turn 2.
So Deneen is coming out for another go. Nexus Cats comes to the end of his lap. Doesn't improve, so he stays P3.
Onto the podium, only improved to P11.
Just been pointed out that may have made a slight typo with the title, boys.
It's alright. Joke will fix it in post, it's fine.
I was going to say it happens to the best. It happens to the best of us, Lee.
Yes, it does.
I didn't want to point it out to you on there.
Damn it.
I mean, you're close.
I think I'm still giddy from my podium last week, that's what it was. I'm just revelling in the fact still. I got a podium last week. Forever in the moment. So T. Smith on his out lap. He's about to start his final flying lap. And the rain's starting to come down harder now.
So I'm just wondering if that track's got to the point where it's too greasy to improve.
So
A couple of guys sliding around.
Yeah, he had a big slide coming up turn 3 to Joe Burns. Hashtag FTRL remote.
So once again, I mean, his qualifying's probably what's been denying him better results in recent weeks. You know, we've seen him qualifying outside the top 10 several times, haven't we? Having to fight his way through. He's always come out with a good result, but if he saw his qualifying out, he probably would have had. He probably could be in the lead of this championship.
Yeah, but he's a fan of the alternative strategy. And to be fair to him, it has worked out quite well for him this season.
T. Smith.
T. Smith is
About moving his lap. So
Joe Burns is backed out. So you've got City pushing an out lap. Is he going to try it? He's trying it. And then you've got Junkie Sport asking Lee, do you need some of my aspirins?
Yeah, go on, why not? Give it away for drugs.
But before you say that, I wouldn't take anything from Junkie Sport, as his new title sponsor in GT Sport is Viagra, so I wouldn't.
This is a good point. Well,
amongst many other things.
tenner for men, I think, is on there as well somewhere. I'm not needing that one anytime just yet. Thank you, Junkie.
I think I saw Anusol on there as well.
Well,
look out.
I've triggered an angry panda in the chat. Sorry, angry panda. Yes, I know, I booed up. Deal with it. Right,
yep,
there we are then. So the final grid
back
for the F2 season, and LR Deneen extends his title lead with pole position. Victor starts alongside him on the front row, and other title protagonist Joe Burns down in P8. While the battle for the final promotion place rages on 4th and 5th. So keep an eye on those two as the race starts. So qualifying done, and let's get some podium predictions in the chats, and also coming to you two in the comms both. What do we think, boys?
Well, my predictions are usually very wild and out there, and Tyres are very usually on point. I mean, I think he got them right yesterday, was it?
I think Donzo got it right.
I've got last night's right, so tonight I'm going to be nowhere near it.
Well, I don't mind going first with my prediction. Well, for Donzo to win, he's due a good race. He's been near the front most of the season, but picked up wing damage early. I'm going for him to get a clean start, sneak through, get away from everybody, take the win. Second is going to be City Porsche Blue. He's going to survive. And Goy Carp for third place. There you go.
Hold on, Si, coming to you.
Very good. I am going to say I'm going to say T Smith for the win. Deneen in second and Joe Burns in third.
Right, so I'm going to plump for Deneen for the win. I think Victor is a bit of an unknown quantity. He's qualified well. I think he might finish on the podium P2, and I'm going to put T Smith to come through and take third place overall. So in the chat, a lot of love for City Posh Blue. So Peteman thinks City Posh Blue is going to come through and win this. The Angry Panda thinks Deneen, T Smith and Iceman. Liam cheering on for T Smith. I won't read it how he's put it, but yeah, he's cheering on T Smith. Ravers Revenge coming in with a few predictions. A few here, so
Spike as his new Willy Ticks.
So we've got Spiked for a monster dive bomb of death and hell bringing doom. Misses everyone, takes himself out, safety car. Unknown driver hits safety car. Guy rumps home by 6 minutes 32 seconds. Interesting indeed. Junkie Sport reckons Deneen for the win, T Smith second and Michael C in his final race taking a podium. Peteman is currently asking for odds on Ravers' prediction coming true. So we shall see. So, quick rundown of the grid. It's LR Deneen on pole position from Victor in the Alfa Romeo. Nexus Cats lines up third alongside T Smith. Nexus Iceman is promotion title rival in P5 alongside City Posh Blue on row 3. Row 4 is Rom Elson and the title contender Joe Burns. Got a lot of work to do from 8th position, but can he come through? Let's wait and see. The ever exciting FTRL Cat lines up P9 alongside Michael in his final race for the time being. Onto the podium on those medium tyres, starting P11, ahead of Donzo, with Goykart 13th, ahead of Spiked, and Mike, the dude in his debut, bringing up the rear. So what can he do from there?
Well, we've got a yellow flag before the race starts, so this is going to go well.
Got 5 lights, in let's go. It's a pole start from Victor, I think. Cat's on, looking lively. FTRL Cat in the background looking lively as ever as well. Deneen's through, Nexus Cat's into P2. Through the first couple of corners. But everybody seems to have come through fairly cleanly.
I'm not seeing any front wing anywhere.
Goykart and Michael side by side into turn 4.
And clean at the back.
So FTRL Cat up to P5 from P9. Did he start there? He's had a great start.
Yeah, Cat's up 4 places in half a lap.
Always good off the line, FTRL Cat in that Renault, and the biggest mover so far. Iceman down 3 places as well. That's not going to help him in his title battle with T Smith. It is LR Deneen converting pole position into the race lead. Currently 9/10 of a second as they end the first lap.
He's looking very quick at the moment, Deneen. I mean, he used all the ERSs allowed on lap 1, so trying to build a gap early. As City Posh tries over on the outside of Cat. He's contacting to turn 2. Luckily, City Posh straightened up Cat. A little bit of contact. Side by side into turn 3.
And behind them, Nexus Iceman and Joe Burns side by side. Nexus Iceman gets it past Dunn. Joe going backwards.
Ooh, Joe's back up the inside of Iceman though.
So both these men currently in battles, one for the championship, one for promotion, and they're going the wrong way.
I hope it's just my ice cream. I've got a little bit of lag from Iceman currently. Looks to have cleared up. Should be alright.
We've got a bit of a train falling currently from Cat back to pretty much Donzo at the moment. All within a second of each other as the DRS is activated at the start of lap 3.
ask comes from Matt Claus, who has the funniest name in FTRL? Not entirely sure. I mean, on the podium is quite funny because he never gets onto the podium, so that's sort of
ironic.
I mean, Matt Cause then goes on to answer his own question by saying that he thinks Aaron Taylor is quite funny. I don't know if he means Aaron as a person or just his name.
I think he means his name, but I think Aaron will take it as a compliment and think that he has a sense of humour. No doubt we'll find out later in the chat.
Indeed. So Joe Burns now closing in the back of Rom Elson for P7. Now can he use the DRS up the hill? Rom will probably have DRS off Cat as well. Joe within 4/10, that's possibly close enough to make a move into turn 1.
T. Smith's going for P3.
Guy's just overtaken Michael C. And
Joe to the outside. Ooh. Joe on the grass.
Oh. Michael C lost 2 places, come up the shirt. Guy's had a wiggle through turn 2, he's kept on track though.
T. Smith a bit wide in turn 4 up behind Victor.
I found out last night that running in dirty air around here is not nice. It overheats the front tyres a little bit on the softs, which is not what you want. You just get chronic understeer. But the better drivers tend to negate that fact, but I'm not that good, so.
Up the hill they come again. T. Smith within half a second of Victor and closing already. And that's before the DRS opens up, and we're going to see him move into turn 1 this time. Gets to the inside, and he gets the overtake done. So that's P3 for T. Smith.
Cal City Posh Blue into turn 1.
Oh, City Posh Blue having to take to the escape road. But can't get the overtake done. The City Posh Blue coming back at him with DRS. Can't defend the inside though.
It's looking like a feisty battle between those two, isn't it?
Mike Dude and Goy Carp also battling. Oh, Goy out wide. And here comes Michael.
And we saw these two have a fantastic battle at Bahrain at the start of the season. It looks like they're concluding their battle in the last race of the season.
Michael around the outside. Sweeps around and gets the overtake done.
Guy always goes deep in every situation.
Go deep or go home.
If in doubt, send it, even if it is on yourself.
The new FTRL motto.
Well, compared to the front two, T. Smiths have a lot of DRS left.
Can City Posh Blue again into turn 1. And Joe Burns thought about it on Rom. And now he's got Nick Sliceman right back on his tail again. So a great 5-car scrap here for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th.
FTRL train anyone?
Indeed, and onto the podium on those medium tyres, just starting to close in a little bit on this battle. He's 2.6 back.
Oh, Cat's gone around.
Oh, Cat's gone. Oh, right in front of his teammate.
Well, this could be a dangerous battle if Cat hasn't overheated those tyres.
He needs to be careful for a couple of corners just to let those tyres cool back down.
Because I would believe, I mean, the soft tyres can run very long in Brazil, so if he can catch onto the back and onto the podium, sparks may fly.
Indeed, we saw Mike Dude a little bit wide there at the final corner, and now Michael's got a run on him. Comes to the outside. Looks to switch back to the inside, back in the slipstream. Sends it down the inside this time.
Oh. We've missed T. Smith moving up into P2.
We have indeed. Oh, Teasman's
He
caught
tou-
that inside curb.
Yeah, he touched the Joe Burns curb that he spoke about earlier.
Inside curb at turn 3, basically like the turn 5 curb at Hungary. Is an auto spin curb on this game. I want to keep away from it as much as possible.
But he's regrouped quite quickly and is straight back onto the tail of Nexus Cats. No pun intended. And all this squabbling has brought Victor onto their gearboxes as well. Oh, that's close.
Oh, Teasman's got the done again.
They just about opened the door on the inside into turn 1. What can you do about our race leader, Deneen?
Well, he needs to avoid that curb at turn 5 this time.
So Teasman does have his fuel light on already, so I suggest he's underfueled the car. I mean, it is possible to save fuel, especially through sector 2. Well, since Cat has spun, City Bosch has sort of fallen back to Rom and Joe and Nexus Iceman, so we still have an FTRL trade for 5th place.
Yeah, and Cat's not really made any major inroads since went to the podium's lead.
When Junkie Sport says raining, I think you might need to go back to spectators.
Indeed.
There's no rain on my screen.
Maybe you're still watching Quali.
Well, no doubt we'll find out at the end of the race, because if I get an insult back at the end of the race, we know.
Nexus Cats and Victor
Yep.
side by side in turn 4. Victor around the outside and takes P3.
He's made it stick. Great move.
Ballsy move around the outside. There's not much grip around there, but
Nexus Cats tyres starting to go.
Raven's suggesting that other spectacle providers are available. I mean, they are, but really want to go to Specsavers in all reality. Just a personal opinion.
All the squabbling over P2 has seen LRD extend his lead now to 4 seconds, and he is well on his way to the victory he needs to secure the title. Joe Burns still not making any progress down in P7 behind Rom Elson. Does Joe need to perhaps go on to a different strategy here? Get some fresh tyres on?
If Joe's in this, maybe go for the undercut. He's seen how far those medium tyres can go. I mean, if he pits, where does he come out, or is he going to come out in traffic? That's the question.
I'd say at the moment he'd probably come out off the back. I think they're still quite closely bunched together. Maybe around.
If he pits now, I think he would come out behind Spike.
It's like, got your Mike do that side by side at the end of the first sector. Go picks up time, like trying to keep out the way of Mike.
Oh!
Oh, contact!
That was a big shunt. There's some wing damage there for Goy.
Might be a retirement from Goy. Come on, Goy, keep it going. A lot of front wing damage on the left hand side through that contact now. Oh, Cat has closed a second one at the podium, but the soft tyres will be not at the happiest about now. Oh, Goy has unfortunately retired the car.
Not the end to the season that Goy was looking for. Unfortunately, that is the end of his season.
mean, he's Nexus Cats has lagged out the session from 4th place.
Yeah, for P4. I hope he can get back in quickly because he was having a decent race for himself there.
Hopefully his Ghost can hang on. As we saw last night, didn't Steph's Ghost car set the fastest lap on hard tyres at one point last night, so the Ghosts are pretty handy around here.
I was going to say, Chris's Ghost car did set a faster lap, but I think it missed out a sector because it was 8 seconds faster than anybody else. Matt Cause is now bringing out the burns on Rivers Revenge. So some say Rivers was so far behind everyone in Division 1 last night that he's actually leading the race in Division 2 right now.
Savage. Well, this 4-car train battling over 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th are now starting to close on the Ghost car of Nexus Cats. So he needs to hurry up and get back in quickly to retain his 4th place.
Rivers has responded, but I'm not going to read that one out as I'm not sure who might be watching, so...
So currently watching Rom Elson, and of course he's one of the guys who stepped up from F3. He's not really enjoyed the same sort of success as an F3. He seems to have struggled a little bit compared to some of the other guys who've moved up the divisions. So what's your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, T. Smith came up from F3 with him.
Leaned in a bit then.
So too, Victor.
Sorry to
Oh,
the other side.
Oh. And that's the kind of thing I've been talking about. Unfortunately with Rom, he just seems to get...
that is the luck he seems
onto
to
the
have.
podium wide. Here comes Cat as well. Are they going to split in? There's not enough track to go 3 wide.
Rom, if you wish to file a complaint about commentators cursing, please send it to Lee. Not me. Yeah, Rom has had pace this season. It's just, I mean, I think USA he had 4 spins. It just, I don't know if he's gone to no traction or what, but it just.
I think he went complete no assists.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we've seen how difficult it is, no assists, and I mean, once he gets it all together, he's going to be flying. But all it takes is one little mistake, and.
Meanwhile, boys, Cat and onto the podium. The battle was just about to come to a head, but Cat has pitted.
That's probably the safest thing I've seen. Well, interestingly enough, the Neens come out in the medium tyre, which is what the lads at the front of the railway, the front boys did last night. Victor's gone out on the hard tyre, as has Cat and Rom.
That is what FTRL Panda did last night.
I mean, the fact that he's come back today is an angry panda.
I'm curious to see how far the likes of T. Smith, C. Posh Blue, Joe Burns, Iceman can take that soft tyre and see how much fresher they can have for a medium tyre. Well, T. Smith comes in now.
And we saw how far did Coandy go last night? Did he go half distance on those soft tyres?
Yeah, he went 18 laps.
City Posh Blue also in.
Lap 20 on the mediums. The mean says fast as now.
So he's pushing on.
Overtakes on the podium round the outside into turn 1.
And all this has put Joe Burns into the lead.
Oh, onto the podium's fighting back though. He's up inside of
the
needs contact.
Oh, round he goes. Quick donuts. Oh, forces Victor wide as well.
I mean, it did look like onto the podium did have the whole of his car up inside of the lane there, but see if it gets referred to the stewards after the race. Yeah, Mr. Joe Burns is currently leading the race, but how long for is he coming in this lap? He's not. As comes, what lap times are they doing?
Next, Katz does appear to be back in his car and picks up a pit lane speeding penalty for his trouble.
Lap that he just did was a 1:11.2.
And for reference, Joe Burns out in the lead is doing an 11.7, so the soft guys haven't dropped away. So pushing now as he's sensing a pit stop incoming, but he's only a tenth off his best lap.
Oh, next is Katz having a huge wobble going out of the pit lane.
Yeah, I don't like this pit exit.
Oh, do I?
Retired me at least 4, maybe 5 times in my league racing career, so yeah. Does Joe Burns come into pit lane? That's the question. He does indeed. Does Iceman follow him in? He does.
Yes.
So that gives Deneen his lead back. Donzo's in as well, so that's all our soft runners have now stopped.
Joe and Iceman both onto the mediums. Where do they come out relative to Victor and City Posh, who are currently working their way through the first couple of corners?
Joe Burns off the exit.
He's going to drop in right behind onto the podium.
16 lap all tyres. You would think Joe should be able to make quick work of him, but as we've seen
those tyres have also had a spin cycle.
So just onto the podium, left to pit now, so that most of the pit cycles have cycled through, and Deneen has extended his lead now to 6.7 seconds. T. Smith now 2.5 seconds clear of Victor in second. Victor though does have City Posh for company.
Well, Nexus Cat, after all that's played out, has now made 2 pit stops since coming back into his car. So he's dropped from P4 all the way up to P13.
Joe Burns making light work of onto the podium into turn 1. He's now up to P5.
That's not something that's said every day. Obviously onto the podium, not wanting to get too involved in the championship fight. I say that as he had a spin with Deneen earlier, but still. Never far from controversy he's onto the podium, but he does try and stay within the rules, so. And now Joe Burns with his fuel light on. T. Smith has got rid of his fuel light, so he's saved the fuel he needs to. Oh, since Joe Burns has passed on at the podium, he's already onto the back of City Porsche and Victor.
So Victor seems to be struggling a little bit for pace in the second stint. City Posh
He's
around
on a hard tyre with the other guys on the medium. Could be making a difference.
City Posh down the inside into turn 1.
Joe Burns fastest lap of the race. 1:10.9. I mean, he has a hell of a lot of work to do to win this championship, but it's not over until it's over. Or till the fat lady sings, but I don't plan on singing anytime soon. As Michael C picks up a 3-second time penalty, probably at the thought of me singing.
Mike Dude as well.
You got Mike Dude as well, Pagani.
So Mike up into the points. in his first start. Good progress from him. But for the moment we continue to watch this battle for the final podium position. The City Push Blue now just starting to stretch his legs a little bit over Victor. And what can Joe do relative to taking P4?
So Victor was going to have DRS from City Porsche, but Joe has had a fantastic run. We're going to have to go the long way around.
Victor's going to fight him. Joe going deep, but that superior grip from the medium tyres helps him get it done.
Victor was both for DRS.
Oh,
so
Spiked has DNF'd.
Oh, Joe's up himself a little bit.
Oh, Victor's up the inside. Oh, Jesus. Spike's car on the exit of turn 5. Victor doing well to avoid that.
Onto the podium has pitted and come out on the soft tyre and is 6.6 seconds behind Cat, who's just been overtaken by Michael.
Indeed, these two now squabbling hard. So Michael saying this
Speaking of Kawandi earlier, he's now in the chat saying, "Come on, Bo Jones." He has a lot of names, does Joe Burns? Bo Jones, FTRL Remote,
triggered.
that guy Tech.
The triggered one.
But Deneen and T Smith, that gap is staying the same practically out front. Deneen has very little battery, but he's been at this every race and he just seems to keep it ticking along at between 7 and 13% battery.
Oh, Cat and Michael again into turn 1. Cat going left and right. Michael goes deep. Cat trying to switch back. Up on the curb, up the inside. A banging of wheels. Now it's a drag race down to turn 4. Cat has DRS on the inside line and he gets the pass done.
Well, these two fighting like they are is allowed onto the podium to pull nearly 2 seconds on them in a lap and a half.
So Michael's off on the outside of turn 6. And goes a bit of a slide into 7. And that's
Joe Burns is caught up to the back of City Porsche. 310s, Joe has DRS.
That's the run.
City Porsche wants nothing of it.
I'll say no contest in that.
I was going to say, I think City Porsche just wants to finish this race to get some decent points on the board. So that leaves Joe a 4-second gap trying to catch the T Smith. It's a big gap, but got nothing to lose at this point.
Well, he's certainly pushing in that McLaren.
She did run very wide.
Maybe City Posh is thinking that, you know, Joe does have the bit between his teeth at the moment. If he just hangs onto the back of him, he might be able to get towed along towards T Smith.
Well, when I look at the standings from the last race, I'm not very good at numbers. I'm going to project something.
So both Toro Rosso's currently chasing Renault powered cars, as now Donzo onto the tail of Mike Dude. Both of them on the hard tyres.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Iceman's sitting in 6th place, is just doing what he needs at the moment to stay in that last promotion spot.
Yeah, I mean, T Smith would have had to finish 2nd in this race with Iceman not scoring, so as long as Iceman picks up a point with T Smith in that position, Iceman will claim the final promotion spot.
Well, Michael C's caught back up to the back of the car, and after a little bit of squeezing earlier on, I don't think these two will be playing as nicely as what they have been, and onto the podium is catching both of them very quickly.
Oh, Michael backing it in.
Let's just say that there's no love lost between the trio, let alone two of them. Between the trio, there's no love lost. So, well, T. Smith has pulled a second back on Deneen since the last time I looked. So whether Deneen is just trying to save tyres a little bit, as Donzo has overtaken Mike Dude for the last points place, but Mike Dude will get DRS on the straight.
He's very close as they start driving up the hill. And all the while Ron Elson closing up on the back of them as well, so this is now a 3-car fight for the final point. Might do to the inside. Donzo's going to hang on around the outside, bit of contact, here comes Rom, oh, more contact. And that was somebody's wing.
I believe it was Rom's left end plate.
The man just cannot buy any luck in F2.
Oh, Michael C's had a wobble, it's allowed onto the podium. A look up the inside, now the outside, in the middle sector.
Michael lets him have it. And now Cat and onto the podium can renew hostilities from last week.
Oh, City Posh is staying in DRS a job and is just using that DRS and saving ERS at the same time.
Joe Burns just picks up a penalty. Multiple warnings.
Yeah, you said about Cat and to the podium renewing hostilities from last week. Their feud runs much deeper and longer than that.
F1 2017 Performance Division Baku.
Oh, and I had a fantastic view of that.
That's where this animosity started, and it's been building ever since. I mean, hopefully it stays clean today. When both of them are clean drivers, they just sometimes have a bit of brain fade.
Yeah, so they're not really ones to back out of any move, are they?
But they aren't, and neither is Michael behind them. If there's a gap, he will send it, especially in his last race. He's not... I mean, he's in cockpit cam, so he can't see as much.
Oh, City Posh retakes third place from Joe.
As Joe clips the tail on inside and nearly half spins the car.
Onto the podium all over the back of Cat, as well as they come down and start finish straight. Cat defends the inside.
One at the podium, going very wide, very early on in the straight.
Oh, banging of wheels.
Contact.
Onto the podium's got more grip. Cat determined to hang on though, and here comes Michael. Cat now has the DRS. And Michael on the attack. Oh, more wheel banging, and Michael retakes the place. Or does he?
The podium on the outside though.
Yeah.
Fantastic battles on these three.
As I said, it renewed hostilities, but in all three of them there's three very good drivers underneath. They don't like contact, it just happens occasionally. Like, they can drive. It's just... we prefer it if it's a shorter amount of time that they drive together, because then there's less chance of a crash. But, yeah. I mean, hopefully they put on a good show for the last 9 laps.
So the podium this time goes for the inside. Cat hanging around the outside. No, onto the podium, gets it done cleanly this time. Cat though gets a great run off turn 2.
So Cat has a very good run. We'll have the DRS on the podium as well.
And he's going to get it back. Michael closing again as well with DRS. Oh, very nearly into the back of onto the podium there. To the podium, looking up the inside into turn 6.
I was going to say he thought about that inside line at turn 6.
It's not somewhere you put your nose in.
It's very difficult, and you need two very willing participants for it to take place.
And I don't think anybody's willing to play that game between these three.
No. Well, Ravers was screaming that T-Smith was questioning his T-Smith catching it in. He was, but like it's sort of stabilised again. It was 6, it's now 6.3.
Oh, onto the podium, so close to the back of Cat. It's down the inside again. Are we going to see a repeat of last lap? Cat looks for the better run off turn 2.
The podium's had a very good run, but Cat will have the DRS.
Flat
And it's getting
open.
very rapidly.
Oh, he's on the grass.
That's the grass, Cat!
Oh, but he gets it done.
He was determined to get that inside line.
And here comes Michael.
There's determination, and then there's... Yeah. Okay.
See, this is the kind of battling we want. It's hard, but it's fair.
I think Cat may have just used one of his 9 lives there.
On the podium's had a very good run. He's up the inside.
Cat trying to sweep around the outside. He's now got the inside for the downhill section. He fends him off. And we go again.
I have a feeling onto the podium might be trying to get footage for a new video, but you know.
Cat letting have the inside.
Just try around the outside, there's Cat.
Oh,
Michael's there.
Cat's got a good run again. See, this time covers the inside.
Look, it. I don't know if he's not going to fall for the same mistake twice.
Oh, but Cat's gone around the outside.
Cat goes around the outside. And Michael's just sat there going, what do I do to get past these two?
He wants to get involved, but at the same time, there's that much spice going on between these two, you probably don't want to stick your nose in.
I mean, Michael will know as well as anyone what happens when onto the podium and Cat battle together, so he's just probably sat behind him licking his lips at the moment.
On the podium onto the grass as Deneen picks up a time penalty and Joe Burns has got back past City Posh after saving some ERS. Just to fill everybody in with the rest of the race while we watch this intense battle for 7th place.
Here we go again then. DRS is open, Cat defending the inside this time. Onto the podium goes around the outside. Cat hangs on the inside. Is he going to run him deep? Oh, he's about to wobble, and this time Michael's through.
I think Cat tried to brake for the DRS detection line. It has worked, he has got DRS, but he's too far back to utilise it into the corner as Michael goes up the inside of the podium now.
Oh, and Cat's trying to follow him. Oh.
So just as onto the podium thinks he's got it covered.
Oh, boys!
Oh. Oh.
Contact! Oh.
And somehow they're all still pointing in the right direction, and I think everybody's nose is intact.
For now, there's still 5 more laps of this year.
It's not over yet. City Posh coming back at Joe Burns, but stays 3rd for now.
These 3 battling has allowed Donzo to take a 1.5 seconds out of them in the last lap and a half alone. Michael has pulled away a little bit as Cat tried to defend from on the podium again.
Wasn't getting it done early this time.
Oh, Cat's to the inside. He's not afraid to send it.
Meanwhile, Cat's fuel light is now on.
I don't think he minds at this moment in time. I think he just wants to get past onto the podium again. We sent it!
Oh.
Wheel to side pod contact.
Oh, and again.
Russell on the podium still there. Side by side at the triple apex right.
More
Contact
wheel
again.
banging.
Oh.
Oh, squeezes him to the apex.
I was going to say there wasn't much room left on that inside for Connor to go. He did have to put all 4 wheels over the curve just to keep the car going. But everyone's still alive.
There's a bit of contact there. Onto the podium, needs to watch his wing.
But Mike Dude has clawed his way back onto the back of Donzo as well. So as City Porsche is trying to get past Joe Burns, does so on the second DRS straight.
A great battle for the podium and a great battle for P7.
It was a great battle for the podium and a great battle involving onto the podium. So
Who sends up the inside of Cat again into turn 1. And all this is now letting Michael get away. He is out of DRS zone.
I will say Michael's rubbing his hands at this moment. I mean, Cat is probably going to have to go around the outside to get this move done. Oh, yellow flag.
Oh, City Porsche!
Contact.
City Porsche's in the wall.
Oh no.
City Porsche's lost half his front wing.
Now, is that under traction or was there contact with Joe Burns? I wonder. It's quite easy when you get on the power there to just over-rotate the car.
Well, I was trying to find out what happened to City Porsche. So what happened to onto the podium and Cat? Because Cat is now 5 seconds behind.
Well,
Nope.
Cat's lost
And
wing.
he's lost wing.
He went to look to the outside of turn 4 and then he was trying to sell onto the podium. The dummy switched to the inside, but I think it looked to me like he got it all wrong and just hit the back of onto the podium, who was braking for the corner.
Oh. It's at times like this I'm glad I'm not a steward anymore. That's all I'm going to say. I think you boys are going to be very busy tonight.
This Cat pits.
I mean, that has promoted Joe Burns into P3.
Now a very safe P3 as well.
I will say he has a 3-second penalty, but so does Victor behind him.
Yes, Mike Dude around the outside of Donzo for 9th.
Academy has just been lapped by Deneen.
Just got
So
the
battling for P7 to getting lapped and in last place. Small margins. Deneen is currently on 21 lap old medium tyres. I think Zach did something similar and similar length on tyres last night, so I think he'll be fine. I mean, he does have a history of punctures, but
So it was a bit of a puncture merchant at the start of the season.
as Mike Dude picks up another penalty. Well, City Porsche has come out in 8th place, 2.5 seconds behind on the podium on fresh soft tyres, so he might still have a battle at the end of this race. I mean, all depends how much he can catch onto the podium and the closing laps. I think, besides anything happening, I can't see much else happening towards the end, but
Iceman picks up a penalty, but he does have a 20-second gap back to Michael. So I think he should be okay for that. City Porsche has already got the lead down to 1.4 seconds. That's the fastest lap.
sets fast as that.
Echo.
He's got very little ERS, but he has much fresher tyres and 2 laps to get it done.
Now within DRS, or just temporarily within DRS range. But now he's back within DRS range, so he will have it up the hill.
Drain the battery.
He's dropped down to 1 now, so I can do a bit of recharging in the infield section.
I think a lot of people are using no ERS through this middle section, and that's how we've still got 70% battery. As Cat picks up the penalty.
Meanwhile, your race leader, who has just put a lap on Rom Elson as well.
Oh, Mike Dude just put a wheel on the grass. It allowed Donzo to get through, but Donzo picked up a penalty in the process. So I don't know who's going to get these last points because Nexus Cats is only 2 seconds behind them.
Here comes City Posh.
To the outside.
Oh, contact! But the podium stops it on the apex as City Posh expected him to run straight on.
Coming up the hill, as Rom Elson goes round. Behind him, Deneen out of the final corner, and he is going to claim the F2 Championship for Season 10 in dominant fashion. LR Deneen is your F2 champion and a race winner. T Smith comes over the line for P2, and Joe Burns will take the final step of the podium in P3. Victor 4th in the Alfa Romeo. Nexus Iceman confirms his promotion with P5. As we drop back towards City Posh, who gets a big squirrely moment there as he gets on the power on the curb up the hill. Can he get the pass done before the line? The DRS is open, but I think he's too far back.
P6. Donzo come up the line with a few penalties. We might do to pick up a penalty on the last straight. That's a new one.
May have cost him a point.
What's it? He's now dropped to 11th place.
Well, there we have it. F2 champion LR Deneen, pole position, race victor, and your Season 10 champion.
Right, well, T Smith can't join us, unfortunately. So, I'm not sure if Oxford said
I think Victor is
he very swiftly disappeared from the lobby.
perhaps Nexus Iceman, if he's there. Things he's
I
been
mean,
promoted.
Well, we can, but I'm not entirely sure how much he'll say.
I don't know.
I do have more to say than the last time we had him in a podium interview.
So there are the final standings then. LR Deneen with a victory, which sees him claim the championship. T Smith fighting through to second, and Joe Burns P3. The victor P4 in his home Grand Prix, and P5 was Nexus Iceman. So we're just waiting now for the guys to join us in the chat.
Oh, Deneen's already here, just waiting on Mr. Joe Burns and Nexus Iceman. I was going to say Aaron has joined the chat and said invite Iceman, so I have. So, thanks Aaron.
Way ahead of you.
I'll invite Bo Jones again, just to more or less annoy him into coming into the party. There he is.
Here he is finally.
Right. We have our 3 promoted drivers in the party.
Indeed, so first off, congratulations gentlemen on your final race of the season. We'll come to you first then, LR Deneen, so congratulations on your race win, and congratulations on being Season 10 F2 champion.
Thanks.
Pretty much the dream scenario, so started on pole position and led from the front. Just want to talk us through your race. It probably seemed quite quiet.
Well, yeah, it was quiet, but you know, there were people that I was worrying about, might get past me. I saw Joe Burns put in a few fastest laps, and that kind of got me worried that he was, after finding a lot of pace at those ending laps. So it wasn't quite straightforward, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah, so since the mid-season changes, you've sort of really been the standout driver in F2. Obviously, you had a few incidents with punches in the first couple of races. How have you changed much about your driving style since those first couple of races, just to sort of manage the tyre wear a little bit better, or?
I think it was just, the game was new and it's just getting used to the game. I just didn't really know how to not puncture the tyres.
Indeed. So, obviously you'll be stepping up to F1 next season. How would you score your season overall in F2 out of 10?
Well, I won 4 or 5 races. Won the title, so that's 10.
Perfect, 10. Well, it's hard to disagree with you. So congratulations on the win and on the title. Looking forward to F1 next season. How do you think you're going to get on against the best that FTRL has to offer?
Oh, I don't know. I know there's some quick guys in there like Zach. I know he's pretty quick. I know that he'll probably be walking all over me like I'm a piece of bread, but it'll be great to race them.
Well, I mean, I think you've definitely showed some excellent pace in there, and I think you'll definitely be in and amongst the point scoring positions. Congratulations again.
Yep, just want to say thanks to Joseph Burns for being a great competitor all season, and for the admins to throwing this all together for season 10.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Been a pleasure.
Well, I mean, mentioning Mr. Joe Burns, commiserations from the commentary box. I mean, you didn't set yourself the target of winning the championship early on. I mean, it was sort of take each race as it came, and then it was getting closer and closer and closer, and then it wasn't so much race pace, but consistency just ebbing away, and I mean, you were there or thereabouts all season. I think it was just maybe qualifying pace, just lay down a little bit, if anything.
Yeah, quality could have been a lot better. I mean, even today, I knew I could have got a couple more tenths out, which would have put me 3rd or 4th. But I mean, in the end, it didn't matter. Didn't change anything. El Ardenine, that he did what he needed to do, won the race. Not much else I could have done. Yeah, but I mean, hats off to him. He massively deserves it. He's an extremely quick driver. Like I said last week, multiple wins. So, yeah, I think it would have been harsh for him not to win it, to be fair.
I mean, you say that, but I mean, I think since the mid-calendar sort of ups and downs between divisions, I think you've led the championship since then. It's been a mighty fine run, and nothing that you can't be proud of. I mean, it's been a good show. I mean, tonight's race, I mean, some of the moves you were pulling, it looked like you were man inspired. It was sort of try and get to the front, nothing else. I mean, it didn't matter if you were retired, you were going up, you were promoted. It was like
exactly that. I've said before the race, I'd give it everything. And starting from 8th place, I definitely had to. So I just had fun with it. Like I said, I had a few overtakes, a couple of fastest laps. I was just enjoying racing. I had a pretty nice battle with City Push towards the end. Got past him, but then I'd gone that quick to catch up to him. I just couldn't pull away. So it was nice battling him until he spun it, unfortunately. But yeah, it's been a decent race. It's been a decent season. I'm happy with how it's gone. So on to next season.
I mean, you mentioned next season. I mean, F1 racing back with the big boys.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
How do you think that's gonna go?
I'm massively looking forward to it, to be honest. Like I say, back in F1, I was there a couple of seasons ago. So it's nice to sort of get back up there within a season. But it's definitely going to be tough. I'm not shying away from that. Points, if anything, would be good each week, so hope for the best, I guess.
As long as you don't take any points off me, we're sorted. I thought you'd bring that up, you little
You've not forgiven him for borrowing everybody on.
But I'm sure there's some guys looking over the shoulder in Div 1, F1 even. Sorry, Aaron. I know my head will be on a platter in the morning. But yeah, I mean, I think some of that lower order, like between Aaron and me, will be looking over our shoulders because, I mean, obviously, when we had our races at the start of the season, I think we were very equally paced.
Yeah.
So I think you'll probably slip in just in front of me, probably. So I'm going to have to raise my game from somewhere. I don't know where. I'll check under the bed, but I'll make it eaten by a spider. No, I won't do that. Yeah, obviously, congrats on promotion.
Yeah, cheers, man.
And
battle
I'm gonna say looking forward to battling you next season. Hopefully you don't beat me, otherwise I'll go cry in the corner.
Yeah, vice versa.
Congrats, man. Good season.
Yeah, cheers, pal. Thank you very much.
And that brings us on to Nexus Iceman, who, with that result, you've claimed the final promotion spot. Congratulations.
Iceman, I know you're fairly
Iceman,
quiet
are you
normally,
there?
but
Oh no.
I think he might have died with ecstatic
Oh,
promotion.
so I think he's exploded with excitement.
He's melted. He's
Thank
melted.
Thank you.
I can. There we go.
Oh, he is there. Yeah, so congratulations on your promotion. Thoughts and feelings on the season as a whole?
Oh, it was okay.
Well, you say it was okay. I mean, you've claimed promotion in what isn't an easy division to get out of. You know, consistent top 5 finishes. So, you know, you've been up there or thereabouts. You've claimed a dominant race win at Monaco. So, you say you've done all right. I think that's more than all right, scoring a win around Monaco. But you're going up to F1 next season, fighting with the big boys. You looking forward to that?
It'll be interesting, but you know.
Well, you've got a couple of weeks to prepare yourself for the challenge. So use the time wisely.
Cool. That went as well as I was anticipating.
Indeed, indeed. So that wraps up this evening's activities and also wraps up this season's F2 Championship. How do you two boys think? How do you think the F2 Championship's gone this year? Pagani.
Well, I mean, it was better watching it than being in it. It was quite nerve-wracking being in it. I mean,
you were at the sharp end when you
start
were
of
in
the
it.
season. I was going to say it looked like I was on for promotion, but I sort of ran away and I hit an F1 at the back. So, but no, I mean, there's been some interesting standout drives. I mean, Joe's done well. I mean, he's been consistent throughout the season. Deneen's come in and has been very quick. But there's been one or two little mistakes creeping in. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what it can do against the big boys. His one lap pace is very strong. I mean, Iceman, he put on a fantastic show at Monaco.
Indeed, I mean, I think
There's
that's probably probably been the standout drive that I've seen across all three divisions. To be honest, that was so dominant. I've not seen anybody run away with a race to that effect to win by that much. Even Liam, when he was in F3, the key won by that much. So that was impressive to see, especially when F2 was probably a lot closer in terms of everybody's abilities. Obviously, I think F3 had some aliens in it to begin with, and that's probably where we saw 3 or 4 of them running away with it at the first. And obviously, what prompted a lot of the changes. But to win by that margin at Monaco as well was just absolutely outstanding drive. I think from him, that's probably one of the best drives I think I've seen across FTRL this season.
Boys that are going up are going to do well and hold their own in F1. I think the boys that are staying, it's going to be mighty close next season in F2.
Indeed.
Like, you've got a few boys that are looking to come up from F3. I think the boys that did come up from F3 are going to be right up there, and I think there's only going to be about half a second covering the field. I mean, it's been a pleasure to commentate on it for all of the season, and hopefully I'll be back next season to do the same.
Indeed. Right, so that's 2 championships wrapped up for season 10. 1 more to go, and that's tomorrow night with the final round of the F3 championship. The championship's already won by Jamie. He won't be there, but there's still 3rd place up for grabs, going between Nexus Lotus and myself, apparently. After picking up my podium last week in somewhat fortuitous circumstances, but yes, so all to play for me. So we shall see how myself and the rest of the F3 field get on tomorrow, same time, same place, 8 o'clock. And if that's not enough action for you, then don't forget the GT Sport League on Friday. But from us for this evening, I guess that's the end, and we will see you tomorrow night for F3. So for now, goodbye.